everyone, and welcome to Ray of Hope, the podcast. It is Dr. Raya White and Nurse Leslie London Alexander.
Hi.
And for this episode, we are going to be talking about life happens.
Yes.
So, so much is going on in the world right now. When you turn on the TV, the news, the media, somewhere, someone is going through something. Many of us can relate. I know this last couple of weeks has been a struggle for Nurse Leslie and myself. We've been dealing with some personal issues with family, with work. So we wanted to come on and just talk about how life happens. It happens to good people, to bad people, no matter if you're a good or bad person, no matter what type of decisions that you make. And we also know that, you can be going along with life, and then boom, something happens that throws you off your balance at the blink of an eye. And that's normal for everyone.
Yes.
I know for myself, I was just going along with life, and then one day you get a phone call and I'm just like, hold on, stop. And at that particular time, I didn't know how to react. I didn't know what was coming next. I didn't know how to feel about it, so I had to just take some time out mentally to get myself together. And that's okay, because life happens.
Yes.
You may also experience a time in your life where you feel like something is always going on and you just can't catch a break. You ever been in that position where it's like,
yes,
one thing after another, there's something that's going on in your life? I know when I was in nursing school, I don't know about you, everything happened that could happen. Car broke down, had kids that I had to get into daycare, was late to clinicals. My teacher tried to kick me out of clinicals because I was late to clinicals because I had child care issues, and my car broke down. And I'm like, whoa, lady, life happens. But we got to deal with it. And what I found out is that only the strong survive when life happens. So I'm going to have Nurse Leslie talk to you about how we can cope when life happens and some of the things that might come up that you might not consider that can put an imbalance in your life. So,
well, keeping on the topic with life happens, Raya, you are so on point, because every day you wake up and you think you have your day planned out. Some of us, plan our days out and we're thinking everything is going to go as planned.
Right.
And then a monkey wrench gets thrown in it, or a roadblock. I know with me, with my life happens, I went through Hurricane Katrina. So living in New Orleans, thinking everything is okay. My husband and I have our careers. People like us. We have a great house, nice cars, everything that you work up to get in your life, and thinking everything is okay. And then you go to sleep and then you wake up and you have nothing. And so that life happens experience really humbled my husband and myself. I want to think we were already humbled, but when you wake up and you think, you go to sleep and you think you're going to wake up and everything is still going to look the same way it did when you were up having a good time the day before, and then you realize you have nothing. I happened to be pregnant at the time. I was 6 months pregnant, had a tumor. I had just had surgery. I had a whole bunch of stuff going on, but I'm still living my life every day as if I'm going to have my baby in New Orleans. Everything is going to be fine, because I wasn't expecting life to happen. Not in that sense. So going through that life happens experience taught me actually to lean more on God. And everybody have their own, things that they do, their vices when they come up short or when they have those bumps in the road.
Right.
For me, my thing was, I need to go back to my foundation.
Absolutely.
Because life is happening every day. Not just to me, it's happening to everybody. I wasn't the only one who went through Katrina. And everybody came out of it different. Some people, they were used to going through hurricanes, and so their life happened was, well, I'll just go back home and rebuild. Some people couldn't do that.
Right.
Some people wanted to go back home and rebuild, but there was so much politics, it was taking too long, and that's kind of where I fell into it.
Right.
By the time we wanted to go back home and rebuild, we had already gotten established out here in Ohio, so it's kind of like, I have a baby, like, I'm not going to be doing back and forth. our house was just obliterated. We lost everything. We had nothing but a foundation left, and it was kind of like, where do we go? Like, what are we doing? Especially when it was something that we didn't cause.
Right.
And so some of the things that got me through it was, I've always been a people person and love to do things for people. And so I threw myself into work. I wanted to love on people 1,000 times more than I ever did, because I didn't have anything anymore. So with me not having anything, taking care of people became my recovery, my therapy. You know, throwing myself into work and making sure that people felt better when I was in their presence, kept me from crying, knowing that when I left, I was going home to a house that I live with my sister, you know. And they've always said 2 women can't live together. Let me tell you, that's a whole nother podcast. But it worked out because she became, you know, we lost our mom when we were young, and so she became my mom, and she was there for me in a time when I absolutely needed her. So she's my hero, but you know, we're not kids anymore. We're adults. She has her family, I have mine, and now we have to live under the same roof. And so I just want everybody who has those life happen moments just to dig down and just remember that you can get through it. There is nothing in life that you cannot pull yourself out of.
Right.
It's just going to take a little work, and it's going to be a territory that you're not used to being in. But if you just lean on whomever your higher power is, I promise you will come out of it so much better. I know for me, and I shared this story, and I'm not sure if I shared this with you, but I know for me, living with someone and living out of a bag, where you literally don't have anything but a duffel bag. I left New Orleans with, you know, I had a maternity outfit, a pair of tennis shoes that I think I just threw away because they had holes in them. Like, literally just threw them away last year. But I had to realize I was holding on to it because that was a part of my history. But, you know, I went to put them on and my big toe was peeking through. I was like, yeah, I got to hold on to another part of history because this ain't it, sis. But when I realized that I was living out of a bag, and even though my sister opened up her home to me, and I mean, I had everything as if it was my home, it still wasn't the same as going in my own closet.
Right.
Which I took totally advantage or totally did not realize how lucky I was to be able to live in my own home, wake up every day and just be able to slide my hangers down and say, do I want to wear that today? Nah, I don't want to wear that. It just made me feel, it made me feel so empty when I didn't have that anymore. And those are little things that we take for granted. We don't realize how lucky we are to be able to just wake up and go in, something as simple as going in your closet to take a shirt or pants or just an outfit, a suit off of a hanger, be able to put it back on, and you can visually see what you have versus you have a duffel bag with a few little items and you're digging through it. Like if you're in a dump, like you're dumpster diving. That is an experience that if you've never been through it, you will never understand it. But God, because He made me go through it to have a better understanding and to see things that I never heeded to at the time, to appreciate it more. So just know that there is nothing that you cannot get through. It's gonna play on your mental. It's gonna make you feel defeated. My go-to again was my faith. I know that God put me here and sent people to me that I would have never met. I was pregnant, I had nothing, and I ended up having more clothes for my daughter than I could even think of. I ended up giving so much stuff away because people who just would see me at the post office and hear my accent or hear me give my zip code back home because I had paperwork I had to send off. As I'm walking out, they would stop me and say, I wasn't being nosy, but I heard you talking to the lady at the counter. Do you need anything? Wow. It just made me feel like you know what, God?
Mm-hmm. I see you working.
I see you. Like, I went through this storm literally and figuratively.
Right.
And I understand why. So don't ever feel like there's nothing that you can't get through. We all have our life happen moments.
Mm-hmm.
Find that support system that you can grab on and hold on to, that's going to back you up, that is going to lift you up. Be there for you no matter what, because you can get through it.
You can.
You definitely can get through it.
You can. And she brought up a great point about the storm, because God said there will be storms and he's going to walk you through. He never said, oh no, you're not going to have a storm. He said there will be storms, but I'm going to walk you through that storm. So that means that life is going to happen for everybody. That means that there is a lesson in every storm that comes. So that moment, when you have that life happens moment, you need to stop and say, what is it that I can learn from this? How can I help somebody in my storm? Because we all know that you are blessed to be a blessing.
Yes.
So when you have a storm, help somebody in your storm. Whatever it is that you're going through. I know for a lot of people with childhood trauma, they later grow up to help people who have gone through childhood trauma because they survived the storm.
Yes.
And now they're helping the next person get through their storm. So we want to take away that stigma of feeling ashamed, of sharing our stories, because we all have stories. We have all gone through life happens moments. I know there was times where I had a home and it flooded and I lost my baby's pictures, and I thought it was like the end of the world, because anybody know I love my babies. And I felt like it was the end of the world, because I had lost so many memories, because my kids were born in the early 90s, so we had Polaroid pictures. We had to take them and get them developed. And so when my house flooded and I lost my pictures, I felt like I lost memories, but it did something in me to where now, if you know me, I'm always taking pictures of my family and my babies, and I'm posting them, because it's something internal from where I lost so much, but I gained something from it. So I'm showing up and I'm making memories, new memories, with people that I love, people that I care about. So we just have to understand, and then again, take out the shame. Take out that feeling of shoulda, woulda, coulda. Because you can't control life. It happens. It happens to the best of us. It happens to the worst of us. I don't care how good of a person you are, how many good choices you make, you're still going to have those life-altering moments that's going to come up. And it's going to shake you to your core.
Absolutely.
It's going to shake you to your core. And so I listen to gospel music as one of my coping mechanisms. I know Leslie does too. But throughout the day, I like to put on my gospel music. I work from home, and I like to just listen to the words and soak it up. And sometimes I shed a tear, and sometimes, I'm laughing and I'm praising God through my moments. But there's a song that says, there is no testimony without the test. There is no message without the mess. And when I heard this song, it resonated in me, and I was just like, ooh. Ooh. I was having church, and I'm like, ooh. So I'm having church in there, and I'm like, there is no testimony without the test. Like, how big is that?
That's everything.
And God's going to bring those storms and those life-happening moments, because he's going to get the glory at the end. And it's an aha moment for us to learn.
Absolutely.
And again, to shed that light onto someone else.
Absolutely.
Hence why you see Nurse Leslie and I sitting right here, because we've been through tons of storms. And we made it. And we've learned how to cope. We've learned how to pray. We've learned how to deal. We've learned how to recognize our triggers so that we can help other people recognize theirs and to cope and to deal with it. So we wanted to come on and share that with you. Again, nursing school was a struggle for me, because I went back to nursing school at the age of 40. My daughter was about to graduate from high school. I was getting a divorce. I had a car that got repoed. Yes, I'm keeping it real. I wasn't working. And so I had all these, back to back to back. I had these things happening. Get through this class, get ready to graduate. I missed the test by 2 points. And my teacher, who typically will go through tests and help people find 2 points, refused to help me. And I said, that's okay. I'm going to go home. I'm going to cry about it, but I'm going to pray about it, and I'm going to put my faith in God, and I'm going to retake this class, and I'm going to pay this money, and I'm going to come out on the other side. And I did that. And I'm here. And I'm so thankful that I didn't give up in the midst of my storm.
Amen.
I'm so thankful that I had that spiritual connection, that I knew better than to dwell in my sorrow and to have self-pity. I'm so thankful that I had role models who said, yeah, life happens, but you're going to be okay. And I'm here. And if life didn't happen for Leslie, she wouldn't be sitting here, because she came to Ohio. Working as a nurse, we both worked in utilization management. We both worked out at the same place. I worked with her sister doing mental health for kids, but had God not took her through that storm and life had not happened for her, she wouldn't be sitting right here in Columbus, Ohio. So we got to be thankful and appreciative for those life storms.
Absolutely.
And we also have to recognize that when we pray to God for certain things, you have to be prepared when he shows up and moves you.
Yeah.
You have to be prepared for what you pray for.
Yes.
So you can say, God, I want a new job. And then you lose your job and you sit at home and cry and say, why me? Why not you? You just prayed for a new job, so he closed the door so he can open up 10 other ones for you, pay you more money, put you in a situation where the environment is not toxic to your life. Okay?
Listen.
Do it again. You have to go through life and know that it's going to happen. But we want you to understand, don't be ashamed. Be encouraged. Every day, be encouraged in your moments, in your life happen moments. Be connected to your higher being and know that you're going to get through anything. You're going to get through anything.
Yes.
So what's another coping mechanism? I know we listen to our gospel music, we pray. What else do you do outside of that to cope with these situations when they arise?
From another coping mechanism for me was something actually I never did back home, was to work out.
Release those endorphins.
So being up here and not knowing anybody but my sister, and she can only tolerate me for so long. I'm just saying, my sister, she adores me because I'm her baby sister, but she's like, all right, Leslie, like, you're getting too extra. Go find something constructive to do. And so I found this place that everybody was in there having fun. It was like a party. That's how I initially went into it. But when I got there, the connections that I made, not only for my mind, because I was at home, I didn't know anybody. So I work from home too, like Raya. So I'm at home, I'm looking at a basement wall with no windows. I'm working all day. And then I get up, I'm done, 5 o'clock, and I'm upstairs like,
what's next?
Where do I go? I don't know anybody. My best friends are like in Texas and New Orleans, and we're like miles away, and it's like, what am I going to do here? I don't know anybody. And although I am a little social butterfly, as I've been told, if I'm not going anywhere, okay.
You think?
If I'm not going anywhere, who am I going to meet? And
Right.
So I stumbled, my hairdresser at the time was like, let's go do Zumba. I was like, oh, girl, Zumba? I'm not doing no Zumba. Because I'm thinking like, Richard Simmons Zumba back in the day. Like, that was the last I knew. And I used to do them at home, but then I was like, this ain't my life.
That's
not
it.
I was like, okay, I guess we'll do it. And then I got there and it was like, oh my God, this is like Zumba 10.0.
Right.
So like, I love it here. And I was able to start working on my body. But then, like I said, the biggest thing for me was the connections, because in that transition and going through my life happens, I felt whole again because I was able to be around people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As you can tell, if you can't tell, I'm a talker. I love to talk. I love to meet people. I love to hear people's story because I love to celebrate people. And so being at home and not being able to just be out in an environment that I was used of and being around people that I'm used of, it like took a toll on my mental. I was depressed. It's depressing when you wake up every day, you go to work, and then you don't have anything to do. I don't have anything to do. My husband tolerates me as much as he can, too, before he's like,
go somewhere.
You got friends? Can you call your friends? Is all of your friends back home busy? Like, you can't talk to, it's like, he's my best friend here, but he gets tired of me. Like,
he's like, go somewhere, please.
Yeah, like,
15, 20 minutes.
Just give me a break. And I understand that, but my outlet, another outlet for me, and they know I talk about this all the time, was going to Zumba and making those connections and meeting people. So do things that was something that was like out the ordinary for me. I never thought I was gonna fall in love and like dancing and doing Zumba. Coming from New Orleans, I mean, I could be in Walmart and hear like a little maraca song and just start dancing. My sister's like, can you
dance
just
everywhere?
Hold the basket. Just keep your hands on the basket. Don't move. You know what I'm saying? Like stop. She
dances everywhere.
I do, because that's where I come from. That's my culture. But that's another one. That's another topic for another time. But that brought me back. That dancing and that feeling and meeting people just made me feel, like I said, feel like I was back home. So I was able to feel whole again and feel like maybe I am okay up here. Maybe I will stop being so resistant. Maybe I'll stop being so angry that I lost everything, because I was angry. I was angry.
Who wouldn't be?
That happened. That was not our plan. That was not something that we ever thought we were going to do, is to have to pack up and move. And not just pack up and move, but pack up with nothing and move. Usually people already have in their mind, you know what, we're moving to Columbus, Ohio. Right. Get the U-Haul. We leaving out in 2 weeks. Anybody want to come help pack?
Got jobs planned out.
Yeah, you have everything.
Yeah, everything planned out.
Everything is planned out. Well, when that life happens and your life is not planned, and you really literally have to pick up the pieces and figure it out as you go. Right. That's difficult for anybody. It doesn't matter how strong your faith is with God. It doesn't matter how much money you make. Because I tell people all the time, we are all one disaster away from losing everything.
One moment.
Don't ever get too comfortable where you think day to day everything is going to be okay, because fires can happen in your home.
Oh my gosh.
You know,
I had a house broken into and they stole everything. My kids' brand new TVs, my son's motor, everything. They stole my son's Jordan. My house got broken into. I was just getting into this house.
Life happens.
And just like that, in the middle of moving in, they broke in and stole everything. And I relocated. But I relocated into a better place. And God gave me everything back 10 times fold.
You had to go.
You see how He worked?
You had to go through it. But in
that moment, I was ready to hurt some. I said, let me find out. Let me see this person walking down the street.
That's it right there.
It was a moment. It was a moment.
It. And we are so, because we're so focused, goal. You know, some people are just goal oriented, and so they know what they want, and
but we
they
focus
wake
on
up.
The stuff.
That right there.
The stuff. We focus on the stuff.
That part.
And we gotta stop.
That part.
We gotta stop.
Because God will take it. It'll be removed. In a blink of an eye.
Yes.
You're listening to 2 testimonies
two.
That had no clue that their life would end up the way it did because of the things that they went through.
And we had it all planned out. We had a plan. But He said, I'm going to take you on a different route because I got something higher and better for you.
Listen, Linda.
I need y'all to connect.
Listen, Linda.
So that y'all can reach the masses and so that y'all can do my work. Not y'all's work. Not what we have, but we're going to do His work.
Listen, Linda.
So He had to detour my life and her life so we can meet at this moment and be here. Life happened.
So please be encouraged. I have something that I want to leave us with. And it's so funny. I stumbled upon it as, you know, Ray and I were talking about what we were going to discuss today. You know, I was like, oh, what am I going to say? Because we got I got a ton of life happy stories. Like this podcast can go on.
This might be a part 2.
Actually, I was thinking that. I was like, we need to revisit this like
4,
once a month.
5.
We need to come back once a month because we have. But thank God that He put us in a place where, kind of picking up what Raya was saying, there's a lot of people who feel that shame and don't want to share, and that's okay because everybody's not going to be where we are. I have to tell you, I wasn't. I would mentally break down and cry when I had to think about telling that story. And even though it's, you know, I mean, worse things have happened to people. I am so aware of that.
Right.
But that was my story.
Right, your story.
And to have to relive it, I was telling it and I was reliving it all over again. And not to mention, I had a tumor. I mean, it was just a whole bunch of stuff that was going on. And so when I was thinking about what am I going to say, I kind of started doing a little research. And I was like, what can I leave people with to make them feel it's okay?
Right.
It's okay. Life is gonna happen. It's okay. To the best of us.
Yes.
I always tell my best friends, he picked his soldiers to get through.
Yes.
And don't ever say why me. It's like
Why
Raya
not
said,
you?
it's like, why not you? We're supposed to do this because he has it's a lesson in it for us, but it's also he wants us to go out and help and grab as many people. So we have to be the ones to go through it. So when when we tell the story, they could be like, what? You went through that and you still standing? I would have never been able to get through that.
Right.
It's okay. So what I wanted to share with you guys, it's called 7 Rules of Life. It's actually a book. Please forgive me. I'll get I'll put the name of it in the website in the chat. Not website, the chat, the YouTube. So it's this is clearly unfiltered and live. So so unscripted. So it's 7 rules of life. The first is smile.
We do that.
Smile.
Even on days we don't want to.
And they say smile because it always works out in the end.
Yes, it does.
I wake up sometimes and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm going through some stuff right now. Today was just a rough day. But I still was smiling.
Absolutely.
Because I think back to my life happens and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be all right.
Right.
I'm gonna be okay. The second is be kind. Be kind.
Be kind.
It does not cost a penny.
It's $0
to be kind. Hi.
Hello.
Hey,
How are
Raya.
you? Hold the door open. Thank you so much for holding the door open for me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Be kind.
Thank you. It's being kind.
Because it says you have the power to make people feel good.
Absolutely.
Just being kind, smiling. The third is don't give up. I hope we have conveyed a little bit of that to you. Do not give up, because if it doesn't work the first time, find another way. Because God is He's going to test you because He's watching. He want to see if you're going to give up. Are you still going to be faithful to me even when you're not getting your way right now?
Right.
Are you going to still be steadfast? Are you still going to believe that?
Because you said, Lord, I trust you. But do you? How is He going to know if you trust Him if He doesn't take you through that storm?
Don't give up.
Because you said you trust Him, right?
Don't give up. And don't compare.
Don't.
So everyone's on a different journey.
Everyone.
That's the beautiful part of life. I always find that everybody's journey and story is so different. My story is different from Raya, but we still connect.
Right.
Because we've gone down different paths.
Right.
I don't have to walk in her shoes and to understand her. She don't have to walk in mine, because we both have that end goal and that end result of we are all on a different journey. Avoid negativity. That can mess up your
by any means necessary.
Listen.
Please remove yourself.
Listen.
Okay, let me tell you about that.
Oh Lord.
I have learned how to detach myself from things, people, and situations. If I feel my spirit is off, if I feel that negative energy, I detach myself, because what I have learned is that everybody does not fit your purpose. And so when God puts you in situations, there's always going to be demons and devils that's going to come and try to deter you from your purpose, your true purpose. Not what you have planned for yourself, but what he has planned for you. Detach yourself from negative situations, people, and places. But that's just my little scoop. Go ahead.
Ooh. And it says when you avoid negativity, avoid negative thoughts, situations, and people. So,
boom.
I mean, I couldn't stop it in the middle of it, but I'm sorry. Girl, I was about to say that. Number 6 is make peace with your past.
Woo!
That's another podcast.
Woo! That's a whole nother podcast.
Make peace with your past, because if you focus on being present and creating a better future, your past is your past. You won't focus on it.
Yeah.
Make peace with your past. Your past is your past. We
I
all
just
have
did
one.
that 2 weeks ago? She's been telling me this for about a year, to make some peace with my past. I was dealing with a situation, and she showed up when I needed her and said, make peace with your past. Go do what you need to do for you. And it took me a year later, but I did it in the last few weeks.
And how you feel?
Blessed to have
See
met
what
her.
I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Sometimes it just takes one person to just remind you. Like, it's okay.
Yes.
It's okay.
Yes.
It's okay to be upset about things. It's okay, but don't hold on to that, because you're not doing it for you at this point. The person who
Woo.
you having issues with is moved on. They don't even know you mad. Let it go. The person that you're having issues with, they don't even know that you're mad. They don't even know you feel like that.
They don't know. They don't care.
They have moved on. You're holding on to this for what?
Right.
Make peace with your past. Don't hold on to it. And the last thing, please take care of your body and your mind. One struggle to survive without the other.
Yes. Thank you so much for that. Like, that was a perfect closing. I don't even need to say nothing else after that, but follow us at connect@RayasRazorLight.info is our email. You can follow us on Instagram at RayasRazorLight_FDTN. You can also follow us on Facebook at Rayas Rays of Light Foundation LLC.
Yes.
And you can go on Amazon and get the Rayas Rays of Light Foundation Ray of Hope and Thankfulness Journey available
Where is
now.
the journey?
Write down
That's mine.
something every
Where is
day
the
of
journey?
what you're thankful for. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please leave your comments. Have a blessed day. We love you.
Please. We love
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.